Good morning. The power was off this morning when I got up, so I started without you. Wasn't much else I could do. I've got some computer work to do later. I could have gotten my bed ready for camping, put it in the back of the van, but I didn't feel like I was that energetic just yet. But I did get the cover done on this journal. So this is another envelope journal. I did a couple of them yesterday and made a couple of videos. I did this one with the pink envelopes for the cover. And I did another one with brown envelopes for the cover. Same lady on the front. And I was going to do another one of her because of the blue headband, but the blue's not exactly right. And I found this Dreamcatcher, so I thought I would do it instead. Just a last possible minute, I changed my mind. So I glued these two pieces of feather down to a piece of the notebook paper that's going to go in the journal. And I'm just tearing around it here. When I put them down right on the blue here, it just didn't show up very well. I can show you what I mean. It just doesn't show up, so I wanted to put the cream background behind. So I thought I would just use this offcut. And I will ink it because everything else is inked. I've inked this piece more dramatically than the rest. Let's see how that's going to fit first. To just be a tiny bit skinnier here. I think that'll work. And I might overlap it. Actually, I might overlap it down here. I kind of like it when it's all connected. Unless I do more of this. I do have a bit more of that. Getting ready to go camping for 3 nights, 4 days away. And so I've got to get my foam mattress out of my son's room. He has I don't know if it's a queen or a double foam mattress. And he used to use it when his buddies would come on the weekends. And we use it in the back of the van now when we're camping. I think I'll put that up there. Just using the glue stick to put it down, just so that that's sort of connected visually. There. Then I'll ink this. And I may ink this darker so that it stands out more. I'm using Vintage Photo. These edges a little darker. I like that look. I hope everyone had a good long weekend. This is just after the May Victoria Day long weekend in Canada. Memorial Day maybe in the States, I'm not sure. And I worked. That's why I'm off now. Yeah, I'll do in the corner. Okay, so that's my cover pretty much done. I have to decide what I'm putting here. I guess it would be more of the cobblestones. Would make the most sense. There's an accent there. As you can't really see, there's a pocket here. So I like to put something along the edge of it so you can kind of see that it's there. And then when I have the book all made, I'll put something in all of the pockets. I don't know what it'll be yet. It won't be anything too major, just either a coordinating little tag, bookmark, or just some ephemera that looks vintage. But I like to put something in the pocket so that people realize that there is a pocket. Just realized my glue lid isn't on. I don't like to leave it too long. And then because the power just came back on, I just got my coffee, so get some into me. Yeah, I forgot to put my circles in these. Hopefully I can still do it with the with the envelopes together like that. Do you prefer to have that cut out on there? I use my whale tail tab for it. Paper shapers. Nice and quiet here today. Ryan went to work. Now, I was thinking of doing my signature out of these books pages out of a notebook that I got from the dollar store. And I was just going to glue them together, overlap them, instead of adding a piece of paper to them, because I've got plenty of width left to trim. So I guess the thing I'll want to watch is that I keep the lines lined up. I'm just trying to think if it matters. I think it matters. So then when I fold it in half, I can fold it at this point. No, because that's where I fold it halfway in this white band. Sorry, I'm probably too far back here. Fold it in this white band here so that that's where I sew through, so it's double thickness. I'll give it more strength, I think. So I'll do it backwards first so I can see that I'm about not quite halfway in. And then I'll have this rough edge in there, but that doesn't really bother me. And then this will be trimmed off, probably deckled. Okay, so let's glue up a bunch of these. Maybe 10 or 12 pages. So there's one that's almost together, but it's not well enough together for me to keep it. Okay. I'm gluing right close to the edge, so I think I better put a piece of paper down. Just make sure I'm getting those lines running right through. There is a crease line there, like a tear-off line that it naturally wants to go to. I guess there's no harm in that now that I've reinforced it with the glue. I'm not really paying attention to how far I'm overlapping them too much. It's finding the same spot, I think. It's okay. Let it do what it wants to do. So that's 3. Four. Bit of glue on there from the glue book page. That's what I like about the glue stick, is it if you get it when it's before it's dry, you can kind of get it to ball up and go away. Try to move around on my glue page. I forgot to do it. Lost track. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Considered using it with the lines running the opposite way, but I didn't think that was going to fly very well. It's kind of got a big blob of ink on it. think I'll set that one aside. Now I've lost track again of how many. Oh, I need that coffee. I should have stopped and had my coffee before I started the video. I'll survive. Things will start clicking here soon. Two more. I don't have two more because maybe I'll have to use that one that's stained if I want 10 pieces. I can stamp over where the stain is or something. Or maybe I'll do like an inner cover. I sometimes do like a scrapbook page inside cover inside the main cover on a journal. So I have this that could work. It's not quite as bright, but I think that'll work. You just slip those in there, and then when you open the book, you see the burgundy paper, and then you see the lined paper. So that's what I'll do. So these were $5.50. I'll just make them the same height. I have a lot of extra, maybe 5 9/16 or something. I'm just going to make sure that I've got a square top edge. It's pretty good. So 5.5 fat, as they say. Actually worked this morning. It's got that bit of grunge on the edge, which I kind of like, although some of that probably will be cut off. Let's do, unless I use those, fold them in to make pockets, I could do that. So maybe what I'll do is cut these down and then fold in. So I'll get that pocket at the right point. So I'll mark where I want this. It's going to be right about there. And that is 4 1/8. And I'm going to decal with my ripple scissors. Really need that coffee. You can hear it in my voice, can't you? Slowly waking up. I went out of bed. I didn't realize the power was off until I turned on the light above the stove to make my coffee. And then I went into panic mode. What? I can't make my coffee? Well, you know, I'm going camping in 2 days to be making coffee on the propane stove, but we just didn't feel like getting it out this morning. It's already kind of out, but I could have done that just as easy. My iPad was charged up, so I went on and checked, and one of my friends on Facebook said that the power was supposed to be on by 8:45, so we stuck it out. Toughed it out. So I'm just doing a few pages at a time on this. And I like the way that the edges of the paper look when they're done with this ripple scissors. You can do the tear ruler as well. It gives a similar effect. Neither one is as perfect as a store-bought book, but I like the look. It's not like you're cutting them in the exact same pattern on each paper. They're offset from each other just a tiny little bit. So that's my little signature. I put a little feather stamp there maybe. And then this guy is just a touch taller, not much at all. And what I'll do is I will fold these pockets, and I'm going to leave it just a bit wider than the deckling or the rippling. And just fold it back on itself. On both sides. So I'll take this off now to get this even. Sorry, I'm working close to my body and the camera's way out there. Just burnish that a bit. Then I'm going to flip it in here. So I'll put my, even though it's going to be up against the white border, I'll put, our white background, I'll put the half circle in there. Fold those in and glue them. And for that, I will use my 3-in-1 glue because it has, I have it in these really little bottles, so it's a really fine, thin bead of glue. And this stuff holds really well and really fast, and it is acetone based, so it doesn't bubble up the paper, which is some of the things that I like about it. It's Beacon 3-in-1 glue. I just got it at Michael's in Canada. I know you can likely get it on Amazon. I've never seen it in the dollar stores, not like the Aleen's, which I got some Aleen's at the Dollar Tree last weekend for $1.50 for a 3-ounce bottle, which was, as I found out later, really a good deal. So I went back and got another one. It's a small bottle, but it's good to have in your traveling craft kit. And it is a good price per ounce, so I think I'll grab them when I see them in there. So there's the cover for the signature, and then the signature goes inside that. I'm going to have it so that that extra strip is on the right side. You don't see it immediately when you open the book. And then this goes in the cover like this. So I'll grab my bookbinding kit. You may have seen this in a recent video as well. I made up a little a vintage plastic, turquoise plastic sewing kit. And I've put all my bookbinding materials into it. So for this one, I think I'll use that cord to do the 3-hole pamphlet stitch. Kind of just makes sense. And I've got this little template that I used on the pink journal. It should work. Well, it's just a touch smaller. Could center it up. I have a good eye for centering things, so I will give that a whirl. If you don't, then just cut yourself a new one the exact height of your pages. I'm working with kitchens for 35 plus years. I have kind of gotten to where I can look and see if something is centered or if something is square or something is crooked. It's a curse sometimes. And then I usually do my string about 4 times the height of the spine. I have my large needle handy here. I think I will use the largest one. My rusty old pearl head pin. Very vintage. All the paint's peeling off it. It's obviously not a real pearl. I love it when I find one of those great big old pins. Buy a lot of sewing kit stuff at yard sales and thrift sales, mostly yard sales. I bought a whole sewing basket recently at an estate sale. There's a video on that if you want to look it up. In my hauls playlist. I should have done this before I got on camera. I'll just squish it a bit, flatten it. I do have some threaders. I could use one. Show you how they work. So you might have seen these in sewing kits and wondered what it was for, maybe, if you're not a sewer. So you put this, which is quite easy to get through the needle because it's wire, and then you put your cord or string or yarn or whatever is hard to get through the eye of the needle into that larger hole, and then you pull it through. And it's just because this is thick, I think. Don't want to ruin my threader, but you can pull that little wire out. I've done it. So then you can take the threader off, put it back with your needles so you don't lose it. Don't want to throw it out with your paper scraps. And then your needle is threaded and you haven't driven yourself absolutely bonkers. And so we've got this. Let's do we could do everything at once, but I'm going to do these things at once. And okay, first let's get these all lined up and centered in this, which should be the same. And then this is just a touch. See, I've got it marked that it was Pink Indian Maiden 5 3/8, and this one's 5 1/2. So that's why it's just a bit different. And then I'm going to clamp that so that it doesn't move around on me. And then I have this rubber pad that I use to poke through. put my, that's why I pulled this out, so I can put that through the top hole just to keep that all lined up. I'm going to take the clamps off. And then I'll do my cover. And again, I just want to center it up so that it's equal here and here. Of course, it's going in the crease, centered that way, but I want it top and bottom centered too. You don't want to flush it up on the bottom and have a big gap at the top. And I don't think you want the cover the same width as the pages. Usually in a book they're not, like a little bit wider. But there's also no rules in junk journaling, so do it however you want to do it. These aren't really junk journals, they're more mini notebooks, handmade mini notebooks. If they were junk journals, they'd have a lot more pockets and tucks and tags and flips and all those fun things in it. But there's also lots of gray lines on the definitions too, so whatever you make is fine. It's all good. Literally all good. Okay, so then we take our threaded needle, we place these inside the cover. Those lined up again. Good. Place those inside the cover and just get that through the hole so it's lined everything up. And I will clamp. I can do this without clamping, but I usually don't. Okay, so we're going to go out through the middle hole. And I usually grab this with my thumb, but you can also stick it under that clamp so it doesn't pull through on you. And then go in through the top or bottom hole. It really doesn't matter. Make sure I've got this the way I want it. It doesn't matter all that much. Okay, sorry, back through the middle hole, or through the end hole. To the one that doesn't have the pin in it. And then you're going to go all the way to the other end. Remove your pin if you've put one in. Go through there to the outside again. Pull that tight, tight-ish. You don't want to stress these holes too much. And then go back in through the center hole and come up on the opposite side of the string. So see how this pink end is going under and over this way? This time you want to go in and on the other side of the string. That needle is almost too big for that awl. And then I'm just going to give it a nice tug just to tighten everything. It's pretty how you get two different colors on there. Looks like a magic trick. And then you just tie a couple of knots. I just do two. And then I'm going to leave, I don't know if I'll leave all of this. No, I don't need all of that. I'm going to leave to the edge and then back. Maybe I will leave it all. I was thinking kind of for a bookmark slash some dangles. So I'm going to leave it all because it's going to be such a small piece left over that I won't likely use it. And when I do the beads and dangles, then there might be a piece left and I'll stick it in my scrap box then. But this I thought you could use as a, like say you were reading along or writing along and you want to save your spot, you could put it down as a bookmark and then I'll have beads and probably feather charms hanging off the end. So that'll be cute. Add to the value of it and the experience of using it too. I have an idea for another journal where there's like a pen holder. I saw that yesterday on YouTube, and they gave me an idea too for someone who I know watches. I'm not going to say what the idea is because I don't want to wreck the surprise, because I do have a surprise for that person that I know watches. So I wonder if it'll be you. Anyhow, that's my blue version of the little envelope notebook done in a native theme, the Dreamcatchers and the feathers. And yeah, each one is a little bit different than the last, which is what I really, really like to do. So I hope you enjoyed watching this today. If you have a friend that you think would like to see something like this, then do share. Make a comment. Tell me what you liked about the video or what you think I should change. And also tell me which one of these, actually there's 4, which one of these 4 journals is your favorite so far. And as I do more, I'll share them with you so that you can see how the process can change just with little changes and tweaks and materials that you're using. Sorry for rambling. Enjoy your day. Thank you for watching.